everyone, a very warm welcome from Wo Bright team. And today we have with us a wonderful personality, a woman who has donned multiple hats in her life. Yes, we have with us today Parminder Kaur Sharma, author of Amazon Kindle hot release bestseller, The Ladies Compartment, and another book, A Realistic Guide to Parenting, rightly titled From Monkeying to Parenting, straight from the heart. So Parminder Kaur Sharma is an engineer by qualification, banker by profession, and a writer by passion. So, Parminder, a very warm welcome from Wo Bright team.
Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you.
Okay, Parminder. So, my first question is, what inspired you to start writing? Have you always wanted to be a writer?
No, actually, writing was never in my thoughts. I am coming from the time when engineers were being created in bulk. So writing was something which was never my cup of tea. It somehow, I started writing when I started writing small blogs. I loved the feeling of expression of writing. So from there on, I picked on writing on different topics, participating in different articles. And somehow this my first book. It came into shape as a blog only. I was writing a blog on parenting. Okay. And when I realized that this topic is too big for a blog, so I decided to get it converted into a book. So that is how my book writing journey started.
Did you ever imagine that it will become a bestseller?
Never, never. When I wrote my second book, which became a bestseller within a week, I was really off it. I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, I've never even dreamt actually, because I think I was writing for my own passion, but I never realized that it would be liked by readers so much that it would become a bestseller.
Yeah. So you like when you develop your characters, like in the book, the short story which you have written. So do you already know the characters before, or you develop it as along you start writing, or along how the story goes?
See, my first book was a non-fiction, so it was more accounts. But my second book, which is a fiction, which is again inspired by true events. So whatever ladies I have portrayed in my book, they are somehow related to me. They are around me. So the characters as such, or the events, I would say, they are not actually fictional. They are facts. But as far as character developing is concerned, because they are not actually biographies. Somehow I have created a fiction around those facts.
Inspired by true events.
Inspired by true events, adding some fictional spices on the facts. So yes, character development takes place after my first draft. After I have completed my first draft, in my second pass, I develop those characters more in a refined way.
Okay. Parminder, how do you handle the literary criticism, with the advent of social media? Obviously, there are good reviews, there are a lot of, negative reviews also. So how do you handle such literary criticism?
See, I'm a very, I would treat myself as a newcomer as an author. So for me, any review is a good review for me.
Good review.
Even if somebody's taking the time to pen down his thoughts, even if it's a negative one, even if he's not happy with my book, that means he's having some high expectation from me. So even that is good for me. So anything, whatever, even if somebody's criticizing my work, I take it in the right spirit, because some way or the other, it is helping me in developing my writing style.
Okay.
So mine.
Sometimes I feel that writing can be a very draining and, stressful pursuit for some people. So do you also feel so? And if yes, any tips for the aspiring writers?
No, I don't think writing is draining for me. It's in fact stress buster. I started writing as a meditation process. When I started meditating, around 6 to 7 years back, I started on a serious journey of spirituality. So during my early morning hours, during meditation, I used to write journals for myself only. So that writing part, whenever you are, expressing yourself over paper, it is actually a stress buster. It is not overwhelming. Yeah. So I enjoy the It's the stress is after getting the book published.
So this whole publishing journey of 2 books, the bestseller books, what is your, favorite and your least favorite part?
My favorite part is developing characters. When I am developing, especially for my fiction book, when I was developing characters, I really loved those parts. It was more challenging also. Like I had 5 different characters in the book. So I had to portray each character as a different personality, so
Personality.
that so the reader doesn't have the feeling of getting the repetitive
Yeah,
things.
repetitive, monotonous.
Yeah, yeah. So when I was developing those characters, I literally, felt how like my characters, Vaidehi, Tarani, the name of my characters. I have actually lived the way whether he would be behaving, how would she choose to eat or to wear, or if she, fell off on a road, how will she react? These things were not required in the book, but I experienced it for myself so that I can portray the character better in the book. So that was the best part. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Mm.
And coming to your second part, most challenging is the marketing. Book
Market.
marketing is
Very tough.
it's very tough because expecting a writer to market the book,
Mm.
it's
Not
very tough.
everybody can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, marketing is altogether different cup of tea.
Different cup of tea. Yeah. Okay, Pamina. So, what inspires you to get out of bed every day? Like, what energizes you the most? Like to write, to do your work, to manage your home and your job and your writing, your family, your kids, everything.
Again, spirituality has come into picture for all this. Being a
Mm.
spiritual person has helped me a lot, being a better version of myself.
Okay.
So whenever at night I sleep, actually the getting up next morning starts in the night prior when you are sleeping. So, expressing gratitude towards its superpower for
Mm.
whatever he is doing. I mean, nothing happens by chance. It's not by chance that things are going smooth your way. So there's somebody, a superpower managing you. So
Mm.
expressing gratitude towards him. So the next morning I automatically get up supercharged.
Mm.
That's how the things are.
Okay, so because Wobright is a women-oriented magazine, and we, try to publish stories for women entrepreneurs and women professionals. So I want to ask you that what's that one leadership lesson that you have learned, which is very unique to women leaders? Like there's what
Women
one leadership?
leaders,
Yeah,
if I talk about corporate world, they are something, we have to play with egos, male egos, even
yeah,
female egos matter. No matter your counterpart is working with you, working under you, or it's he or she's your reporting boss. Even working with a female boss is not easy.
it
I
is.
think that is a disadvantage we people are having as against our male counterparts, which
Mm.
I think we naturally see men as leaders.
Yeah.
Suppose you have to make a small decision about managing anything, suppose a vacation at home, or managing any small thing of financial decision or something. You automatically, by default, this is maybe the grooming we have been seeing from our families. We automatically look forward towards men. So men have by default, we have
Leaders.
you know
Mm.
we have made them the leaders, so they
Mm.
don't have to fight for proving themselves to
Being
the
the
leader.
leader. Yeah.
When it comes to women, we have to be extra cautious to, not to hurt egos and yet to sustain our work. So that is one thing which I am still learning, that how to, get things done, because every time you cannot, being a leader means you're not always, getting things done, and doing thing is a bit easier, but making other people perform their best,
Mm.
under your leadership. That is
Mm.
something challenging when it comes to a woman leader.
Okay.
That is, I think, something I feel. Even I've seen my uh, female counterparts who are rising in the ladder of
Mm.
profession. Even they are facing this.
And it will take some
Maybe
time to to change that
I
kind
don't
of
know how
perception.
I don't know how much time it takes. I mean, we are already. That's it. That's how it is.
Okay,
Society.
so Paminda, how do you manage self-doubt, or you are like always clear, with a lot of mental clarity and confidence, but or there are some days, when you doubt yourself that, whether I'm doing right, whether I'm going on the right path, or maybe I could have done something differently.
Dwelling over past is something I sometimes do. I used to do a lot earlier, but after I took on to this, as I told of my journey, after that, this past dwelling is something I have achieved. But yes, when about to do something, whether I'm doing it right or not, whether this is the right time to do it or not, these things do come in our mind. So the best thing I'll do is, to whenever these thoughts are coming, I'll just pause myself
Mm.
and distract myself, I'll say, from that doubt part. Because for example, when I was about to publish this book, I was still in self-doubt whether, is that okay? Should I, is it the book length? I mean, is it not too long or too short, or is it the right time, or should I do some more editing, or should I do more market research, or let me wait for this, festival times to come? I mean, there were so many things going on, but after a while, I gave it a day or two for those thoughts, and then I
You
just,
did your own editing, like of all both the books?
yeah, I'm all all in one, self-created, self-published, self-marketed.
Self-made. Self-made woman. Anyway, okay, so just a fun question. Where would we find Parminder Kaur Sharma on a Sunday morning, at 10 a.m.?
Yeah, Sundays are some days for me to to complete all my unaccomplished tasks. When I'm writing book, I make sure if I'm writing 1 hour daily in weekdays, I make sure on Sundays I devote at least 2 to 3 hours. And if on for working out also in daily, we are not able to devote that much of time in all those things. So on Sundays, I
You
make
run
out early
marathons
morning.
also, like I've seen
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
This is something which
yes,
you,
yes.
really like doing that.
Yeah, on weekdays I'm not able to devote that much of time to. On Sunday early morning, I utilize my time to do all those unaccomplished things which I could not accomplish in the past week. So Sunday morning 10 a.m. you'll find me comfortably on my sofa having breakfast after taking off all my to-do items.
Okay, so what are you working currently? Is there anything, a new book on, something new which you want to share with the viewers?
Yeah, right now I'm working on again a fictional book, which
Okay,
is from
fictional book, yeah. Okay.
my last two books have been from women's perspective, the parenting book and is short stories on women. So my third book is from a male's perspective. I'm writing a story from a husband's perspective.
Oh, okay, wow,
Right
that's
of a husband, the plight of a husband being sandwiched between mother and wife.
okay. So, okay, nice. Would love to read. So, when are we expected the book to get completed, and
Maybe next year,
maybe next year? Acha.
January.
Okay, so what is that one most surprising thing you have learned, in writing, along the way, you were writing your books, or, maybe in your job? Is there something which you rediscovered yourself?
I'm rediscovering myself with each my writing. Whenever I write and go through my writings again, even my first book, when I sometime, take up that book and read my whatever I've written, I'm surprised with myself that, oh, I've written this. So I'm rediscovering myself with each, whenever I'm writing, your thoughts refine with each, the more you write, the more clarity, the more complexity also of situations. So every every day is a surprise. I'm discovering myself more.
Okay. Imagine you have the opportunity to live anywhere in the world, for a year while writing a book that took place in the same setting. So, like, do you have ever thought that maybe, you're writing a fictional book and you want to, just go to that place and write the book in the same setting which you are writing?
Kashmir, maybe.
Kashmir. Okay.
That is some place which I in a bucket list.
Okay.
So even if it is my book is not based on that setting, I'll make sure I'll change the setting if I'm given this opportunity to go and write that place.
Okay. So, Pamela, what does success means to you? How do you define success?
Success is when you go to your bed, when you're happy and content, and you can fall asleep in within seconds of getting into bed. That means you're successful. You're not carrying
Peace
any
within,
burdens to the bed.
yeah,
Peace,
no emotional
satisfaction.
baggages, only peace
Exactly.
inside, and a lot of satisfaction for what we are doing, in terms of our family, our job, and our work. Anyway, so any last few words for our, aspiring women authors you would want to share, something which you have learned along your journey? You want to share any tips, any for the new writers, new authors who wants to get into writing, maybe?
Yeah, I would like to just give them a message that we all want to be successful authors or whatever we are doing, maybe painters or
Mhm.
musicians or whatever aspiring artists. We want to become the best. and we look forward towards other successful our seniors in this field. Suppose so, I find many new authors copying the style of existing authors.
Yeah.
We have enough of Chetan Bhagat. We have enough of Amish Tripathi. If I want to read Amish Tripathi, I will read Amish Tripathi, not a copied version of him. So just follow your own style. Don't copy anyone. There are readers for every kind of a writer. Every kind of a story has its own readers. So my advice would be just follow your heart and do what comes from within. Because art is something you cannot copy.
Cannot.
I cannot do what you are doing. I can, and nobody can do what I am doing.
Yes.
Good or bad, that is one thing. But whatever I am doing, nobody else can express that. So let's be ourselves, and success will one day or the other will follow.
How did your family, react when they came to know that you were getting into writing? And now, I saw that your mother and your father, they were reading your books. So obviously, it must be a very proud moment for you. So they must be very supportive. Your kids, how do they react? That okay, my mother, my wife is a best-selling author. So what are their reactions?
See, I could not have done anything which I'm doing. Even if sustaining a routine job is not possible without the support of your family. So doing something in addition to your job is definitely out of question. So my family is my biggest support. My parents for providing me that grooming, and my family, my in-laws, my husband for providing me that support. But being a best-selling author doesn't change anything for them. For them, ghar ki murgi dal barabar. For them, I'm
so the same all.
Yeah. They will say, okay, आज रोटी नहीं बनेगी, मतलब आज तो bestseller बन गई है, तो आज खाना तो नहीं मिलेगा.
Anyway, thank you, Parminder. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for such engaging, insightful, inspiring session. And we look forward to have such more, sessions and collaborations with you. And to all our viewers, thank you so much. And we'll come again with such an inspiring, another story of another woman again on this platform. And our December issue is launching. So obviously, we would like to tell all our viewers, for any collaborations, you can go to www.bit.ly/WoBright and contact us, drop us a message. And thank you so much. That's all from here. Keep aspiring, keep inspiring. Thank you so much. Thank you, Parminder, for being here.
Thank you so much.